Hey everybody, today we are talking about What You Are Looking For is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. This book is split into 5 sections. Each of the 5 sections is about a specific character. They're in first person for the stories, and in each of the 5 stories, the characters go to the community library. The way that this book is structured reminds me a lot of Before the Coffee Gets Cold, because in that series, it's 4 different stories, and each one is based on a character and their experience going to a coffee shop. In this book, we have a similar situation with 5 different characters going and having their own experience in a library instead of a coffee shop. So that's about the only similarity with that book, but I bring it up because if you've ever read any of the Before the Coffee Gets Cold books, you kind of have a feel for how each of the sections go and how long they are, and if you like that kind of a way of stories written rather than having one story all the way through with just the same characters and every single thing, then you'll probably like this one because it's just very much focused on one person and their experiences, and then it comes to a nice sweet ending, and it does that 5 times. And I really like the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. I like that structure. Of course, I also like having a story that lasts a really long time with the same person throughout the whole thing. But sometimes when I want to read something that I can just sit and read for like a long duration and feel really satisfied and have this like light-hearted, heartwarming kind of feeling when I'm done reading, then I'm gonna reach for one of these kinds of books. Especially because if you have a little bit of time, you could read an entire story in one sitting and then stop there, and then the next time you pick it up, read another entire story. And so it's split in a comfortable kind of a way for people who might have a hard time reading something in a long book for a long period of time and not having like as good of a spot where they can just stop and come back to. But in this, it's just you've like completed it and then you can come back and complete another section, and it's like, I just think that that's nice to have sometimes. In each one of the sections, we start out knowing the person's name and what their career currently is and their age. So each one is like a different age point of view. The first one is a woman named Tomoka, and she's 21, and she's working at a clothing department store that's part of a like kind of like a mall where there's a lot of other shops as well. The second one, we go up in age to a character named Rio. He's 35, and he's currently working as like a accountant kind of manager at this furniture store. The next one is Natsumi, and she is 40, and she got pregnant, so she had to take a leave for a while from her job, and she was working at a magazine as an editor and was expecting to go back to the same job, but then they ended up moving her to a different department. Then we go to Hiroya. He's 30, and he is not currently doing anything, and they call that a NEET, which means not in employment, education, or training. So he tried a lot of different jobs and just none of them were sticking. None of them felt right to him. What he really wanted to do was to be an illustrator, specifically like for manga, because he really likes manga a lot. The last character is retired. His name is Masao, and he's 65. And he's just trying to figure out what to do now that he has all this time on his hands. He also gets insight on what it's like to be at home all the time and all the things that his wife does while he was working and all the different house chores and things that he never had to do. And so now it's like he's available to do these things, but he's like, I don't even know how to do these things. Each one of these characters ends up finding this library in one way or another, whether it was recommended to them or they were going somewhere else and found it on their way and stopped in. As each of them goes to this library looking for a specific thing, the library assistant says, well, go talk to our librarian and she will help you. And each time they go to the librarian, she is like doing felting. She's got this little like ball of wool that she's just like stabbing with her needle, and she's creating little like characters or images, animals. She asks them, what are you looking for? And she types off a list of all these books to give them, and there's always one book that seems a little unusual, that doesn't really seem like that's what they asked for, but each character does end up getting all the books on the list, even the weirder one that they didn't think really made sense. And it was always that one that ended up being an eye-opening thing for them for whatever they were looking for. And with each one of these, they also are gifted a free gift by the librarian, and it's one of the little things that she makes. And sometimes they seem like they have nothing to do with anything, but they end up leading them to a path that they feel like they would not have taken had she not recommended these specific books and given them these specific bonus gifts. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I don't want to say too much more because then it would just spoil each of their stories. The whole thing in total is 300 pages, and it goes by so quickly because, like I said, you can just read it a section at a time, but it goes by pretty quickly. And it's just one of those lighthearted, heartwarming, cozy reads that you can get through and feel satisfied at the end. So if you're wanting something that doesn't have, like, it has some, light conflicts and things like that, but if you don't want something that's super dramatic and just something that's more easy flow, easy going, something that can make you really smile after each one, then you should read this book. It's been out for a while, so you've probably already read it, but if you haven't, go for it. I recommend it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.